Okay, so in this video we're checking out the HGLRC Sector150. I did a review on the Sector 132 a while back. This is a slightly bigger version of that model, obviously a different frame, so it can fit 3-inch props with the prop guards. The Sector 132 was designed so that it could fit 2.5-inch props with the prop guards and 3-inch props without the prop guards. So this is basically 3 inches for either prop guards on or off. And of course, it's going to be a little bit heavier. It's got bigger motors. I believe it's on an updated flight controller stack. It's the Zeus 35. And that's the one down there. It's a single board. And I've already done a review video on that board. So if you want to see details on that board, I'll put a card in the corner here. You can check that video out. This here is the HD version, or the Vista version. You can see it's got a Caddx Vista here. It does come also with a full DJI Air Unit version as well, and also an analog version with the Caddx Ratel camera. So I don't believe the 4K version is available for the 150. I know that there's a 4K version for the 132, which I never reviewed. I also never reviewed the Vista version of the 132 as the analog version, so now I'm reviewing the Vista version of the 150. So in addition to the frame being a little bit updated, they also, obviously I mentioned before, put bigger motors on here. So we have some 1408 2400 kV motors. So that means this is set up for 6S, and that was flying with this Beta FPV 550 milliamp hour 6S with the XT60 connector. So we went with the XT60 here, so you could probably go with much bigger batteries. I'm sure this should be able to carry it, and I was carrying around a hero weight for the HD footage using the included mount here. This is what's included, and you just basically pop these two legs down and stick it in like so, and this will hold it in. Of course, the GoPro is completely unprotected like this, so if you're planning on crashing, this is probably not the best use or the best way to mount it. You probably want to go with a different mount, and maybe a mount that's going to protect your GoPro a little better. But if you're just flying kind of slow like I am in a Cinewhoop style, this is probably going to be okay if you're not expecting to crash too much. This will also keep the weight a little bit lower. There's another mount here that's available, but it's got a pretty sharp angle, probably like 25-30 degrees. And if you're flying slow, that's a lot of angle. So I went with this one here. So I kept my angle like around 5-10 degrees and kept it nice and slow. And the footage you're going to see is stabilized with Real Steady Go. If you want to see the unstabilized footage, I'll link the raw video in the description. If you want to see that, you can watch that separately. So the prop on here is the HQ 2.9 by 2.9 by 4. So that's almost a 3-inch prop, but it's 4-bladed. Does reduce flight time a little bit, but it also gives you a little bit more control, especially if you are flying a little bit slower. So this is probably not a bad prop. Of course, there's the 6-bladed prop as well. I probably said in a previous video, that's probably also going to give you even more control than the 4-bladed prop. It'll also probably eat up your battery a bit quicker as well. If you just want to see this model on the 6-bladed prop, let me know in the comments, and I can possibly make that a future video if there's of interest. So the frame itself, pretty basic. It's a 3.5mm single plate unibody bottom plate, and I measured it about 3.3mm, and it seems to be cut reasonably well. Chamfered arms, pretty decent carbon, pretty stiff, and you got a 2mm top plate. Basically, that's all the carbon you've got, and you got these 2mm standoffs right here in the front. Two here. There's 2 here behind the camera, and then 2 in the back. Got your Vista antenna here for your DJI video, and then for me, I've got the Crossfire Nano receiver inside here. You can see right there, and then they just have this special 3D printed mount for the Crossfire antenna. And in terms of the build and electronics, really all you have is the camera in the front. You got your Vista unit, you got your all-in-one flight controller. So this is your 4-in-1 ESC and your flight controller all in one, and then your receiver back here. I think they have that zip tied to something. I'm not sure. Right there, there's a little mount right here. See the 4 screws here. There's a little plastic plate there where the receiver is zip tied and mounted to. So that's pretty much it for the build. Let's see how much this thing weighs. Okay, so we're coming in around 244, around 244 grams. And we'll throw on the 556S. And then we're coming in at around 345 grams. And we'll throw on the Hero 8. And at this point, we're going to be probably close to 500 at 474 grams as it was flown in this video. So in terms of how it would fly without the prop guards on, I don't think it's going to matter too much because this is not a real duct, and there's a little bit of mass here. It is going to affect the flight characteristics a little bit, but probably not too much in terms of disturbed airflow. If you don't want to fly with the prop guards on, you can just take the prop guards off, and then you want to put these little arm bumpers on here instead, because I'll take up that space that the prop guard is taking up here for the screw length. If you take the prop guard off and just use the same screws, you'll probably damage the windings on the motor, so you want to use that arm bumper, and those are included as well in the kit. So anyway, overall I thought it flew like a typical Cinewhoop. You know, it's quite a bit different from the way like the ones with the ducks fly, although a lot of the ones that you see out there, even the ones, the bind flies like the Hornet, the Bumblebee, the ones from Diatone, they are not proper ducks anyway. They're basically just oversized prop guards that add a lot of weight and also increase the noise. So if you just want a basic prop guard without all the extra noise and weight, something like this is probably going to be better for you. This is definitely quieter because it doesn't have those huge walls that are creating extra noise, and you have less weird flight characteristics because the disturbed airflow from something like this is going to be way less than your typical Cinewhoop that you would find as a bind and fly out there. Now, if you have a proper duct on, then you're going to have a different sort of noise profile. Still going to be pretty loud, but it's not quite as noisy and high pitched. This is at least what people tell me, and you know, it's probably going to fly a lot better because the way the duct is properly made. So if you're not going to get one of those properly made ducted Cinewhoops, then this, you know, if you don't want the noise, then this is probably your next best bet. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the flight footage. If you want to see another video with this flying without the prop guards on, like I said, I don't think it's going to fly a whole lot different, but if you do want to see that kind of a video, let me know that in the comments, and if there's some interest in that, I will try and make that happen. Anyway, here's the flight footage. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. So I just want to get a listen to the tune, hear what it sounds like. Seems to be okay. Not really going to be flying this like a 3-inch, but you probably can. These prop guards aren't really like ducks, so they're not going to be affected too much by the wind. I'm not going to, I have low rates right now, so I'm not going to do any flips or anything. Well, let's just fly it around. There's a little bit of a breeze right now. Not too bad. Now compared to, say, like the 95X, this thing's like a tank, a school bus. Doesn't really, it's not that maneuverable. You can still fly it in tight spaces. It is a Cinewhoop after all. You can see as it gets closer to the ground, the tune gets a little disturbed there. And this is definitely not as loud as the ducted Cinewhoop, because this is just prop guards. But it's definitely not quiet either. If you're looking for quiet, this ain't it. So I'm running a 6S550 from Beta FPV. At 21.5 volts at about 3 minutes and 10 seconds of flight time. So I'm thinking about 4 minutes at the most here. Maybe a little bit under 4 minutes. I am carrying a full-size GoPro Hero 8 on here. So it is quite a bit of weight. But these are only 1408 motors. Maybe if you want to do more acro type flying, you probably want to go for a Cinewhoop with at least 1507 motors or something bigger. Just have more control. Okay, now I feel the voltage dropping. 21 volts. Bring it on in. Almost 4 minutes.